guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marilisa and this is The Girl Meets Yarn episode 17. Welcome back. You can follow me on Instagram at mablu_123 and on Ravelry at Marilisa Lugo. And if you like this channel and you like what you see at the end, please subscribe and like this video and do a comment. I love to read all your comments. I'm coming to you guys from Seattle, where I live currently, but I am from San Juan, Puerto Rico. If you have not know this, if you have not noticed that I have an accent, and if you're new, because if you're not new, you know I'm not from here. Yes, I didn't know. Anyway, so today's super sunny. I am seriously melting here, and I'm very scared to go out because whenever it's super sunny and it's winter, it's freezing outside. Like, I'm not kidding, it's bad. Anyway, so what have been going on with Marilisa since she last podcasted? Okay, today is February 28th. Last time I podcasted was 15 days ago. It was February 13th, I think it was. So, not very much. I'm very dismotivated, if that is a word, or demotivated. There's not a lot happening here on this house, crafty-wise. My sewing machine is done. She is dead. I need to take it to the shop to get just refresh or whatever, but I need to buy another machine. So I've been looking for machines. They are insanely expensive. They are awful. So I am contemplating, hold on. There's one lash that is like giving me crap. Anyway, so I've been contemplating buying myself another machine, but it's so expensive. And last time I bought my machine is a Hispana. I bought it 18 years ago. So yeah, so that was a baby. Like, she was tiny, so she's gonna be 19, so maybe 19 years old. Oh no, 18, because she's not 19. Whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, so that have taken a lot of my sewing mojo out, and I'm going through a transition process, and I think I went through this last year. And thank God I had this book. And I have this book. It's on my it's somewhere here. I couldn't find it, but I have this on my nightstand, and it's called The Curated Closet, and this is the workbook. It's pretty much that. It's a book that you go through with the regular book, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and start this again. I've been doing just the 2 weeks that you go through what you have done and what you have wore, and pretty much I'm just like, oh my god, like I need a refresh, I need a reset. But and I definitely need a reset because I'm in a totally different environment than I was when I was in Arkansas. Like right now they're getting like 60 degrees days, and here I am freezing my ass out with 30 something degrees. It's insane. Yeah, nothing. Hold on. Bye. I love you. Bye. Okay, my son just broke his skateboard, and it's like 911. Seriously, let me send him some money so he can buy himself a skateboard. Oh no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna send him $450. No. Okay, so money is sent. he will call me and be like, you didn't have to send me any money, but I want to send him his money because he's my favorite boy. Okay, so let's see what is going on. So last time I talked to you guys, I was very excited that I was doing something for my giveaway. And last time I did a giveaway, I did a bag. And then this time I didn't want to disappoint, and I went ahead and did another bag. So I was missing some stuff for my bag. And then the day before I recorded my video, I was talking to my best friend, and he was asking me, just very, you know, out of curiosity, what I never went back to doing art whenever my kids were more grown up, because I stopped when they were very little. So I didn't have a reply for him. I truly didn't know why. So when I went to the craft store, I was just like going around and just, you know, kind of like assessing what's you know, what was there, and just going through the not the craft, the art part of the store. And I saw, you know, all the brushes and oils and pastels and acrylics, whatever, canvases, all that. And, you know, I didn't feel like there was nothing catching my eye, not even the color. You know, I really love the colors, but there was like, you know, nothing was like calling my name. So there was this small area of the aisle dedicated to block printing. So block printing, you can do it in various ways. You can do wood carving, make a print or an imprint, or a print or a template. I will say, no, it's not, it's like a stamp. Out of wood, you can do it out of linoleum, you can do it from cork, you can even use a potato and just carve something out and do some printings on it. And when I was in school, I really loved that part of it. And I had a teacher who I took a class. It was a creative book, and she made us do all kinds of books imaginable that were not a square book. They were like 3D. It was like, seriously, it was just insane. So, but she suggested that we did a lot of printing from it, and I was like, oh my god. So I had quite some experience with it, and I just went ahead and I bought a block, and I bought some knives, and I bought a little bit of paint for it, which was not the paint that I needed for it, but I came home and I started doing kind of like lines around, and lines here, lines there, and I did like a pretty much like a quadricle or kind of like a graph paper, but on this linoleum 6x4 piece. And I was just like, oh my god, like this is so much fun. So I was a little, you know, kind of hesitant of what I wanted to do, and I decided to put whatever I was doing for the giveaway on hold and explore this idea. So I drafted this fabric, and I went ahead and I carved it. It's really hard on my hands. I was just like, oh my god, thank god this is not wood or whatever. And I took, you know, I made a stamp out of it, and I was so excited. I put the paint on it, and when it came out so beautiful that I was just like so ready. Next day, and I came out with a pattern like this. So this is the end up product of the fabric that I printed, which is this one. I am not there yet. So here is the finished product, and you can totally tell where I printed on it. It depends, you know, on amount of amount of paint that I put on amount of pressure that I put on. And when I was like keep on printing and printing and printing, I was loving and loving and loving and falling in love with this design so much. So I did it on 2 different colors, and I did it on the fuchsia. and black over fuchsia, and then this bright blue over, or black over blue fabric. So I went ahead and I let it dry, and I was just like, I'm gonna try to see how will this look if it was a bag. And the first one I did was this one. By this time nobody knew. I think my best friend, I talked about that I was doing some block printing, but nobody else knew about it. And then I told Anna, and Anna was like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful bag ever. And I have to say, for me, it's the most beautiful bag ever. It's so chic and elegant and punchy and rustic that I am not kidding. I made this with so much love, and I love the finished product so much that I'm going to, of course, instead of doing what I was gonna do, I'm going to do this for my giveaway. This has been like the longest explanation ever, but so you guys know where this come from. So I went ahead and I did 2. I said I was gonna do 2, and I went ahead and I did that. And I'm going to give this away here on YouTube, and this one I'm going to just put it on my Instagram. And yeah, so you have 2 opportunities to, of course, win one of this. And what I want you to do here on YouTube is just to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and tell me one thing that you love or you want me to improve from this from my platform. You can be as honest as you want to. There's not gonna be any hate, I promise. I have very thick skin, if you don't know already, but I want to hear from you guys the ways that I can improve this channel, things that you may want to hear, right? So this is the inside of the bag. It's really punchy. I think it goes really well. I made my bags really soft, so you can abuse them however you want. You can make them on a little scruncher, or they will not stand too much. You have to put something out there, because I wanted them to be really soft, not very stiff. I have made them stiff before, and I really don't like them because I put this on my bag, so I want them to be as compact as possible. But of course, if you have yarn in it, it will stand. And this part is always kind of like a little bit, it ended up being a little bit more stiff. So if you have yarn here, the rest is gonna stand. So again, like and subscribe and give me a comment or whatever you want to say. I can take it. And then the instructions for this one to win it over Instagram, I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. Okay, so let's get started with this video. It's being way long. So, but I really wanted to show you what I did. So let's go to finished objects. And the first finished object that I have is my Weekender by Andrea Mowry. If you have never seen this, what the hell? Oh my god, I have some news I have to tell you. So my mom went to my mother-in-law house for a party that my mother-in-law was having or hosting, and my mother-in-law was telling everybody that they need to go to my YouTube channel and follow me. My mom, which I told my mom that I had a YouTube channel, I think was once, and she didn't even put any attention or pay any attention to it. She definitely didn't know because she was surprised. So now she's following the channel. So what that means is we have to bring it down to PG, and cannot be PG-13 anymore. So, because I am 43, but you can rest assured that if my mom believes that I'm being rude, ghetto, or classless, she will take a plane and she will beat my 43-year-old ass up. Oh my god. She will bring down the law, okay? She is 72, and she's a little shorter and a little bit, you know, kind of like weak, but that respect is strong. That's what you get when you get beat up as a kid, okay? You become a decent citizen, and you respect your elders, okay? Your parents. Anyway, so last time I talked about this pattern, I was here. I was ready to split for the, well, no, I had like 3 inches to go, and it was the longest inches ever. So I made this sweater with these 2 yarns. This is a cotton blend, and this is a vintage DK from Beroko, and this is from Uluru, Queensland. I think it's called Queensland. Let me check this out. Did I got it right? Oh, Queensland. Why my face? Okay, Queensland, Uluru. And this is said is super fine. I don't think this is super fine. I think this is like a real true fingering. It's a cotton blend, and it's good for that substitution if you don't want to use mohair. So if your pattern asks for a light fingering and a mohair, I think you can use this one without even you know, yeah. And then this is what I have left. I got seriously 103, because this one had more than 100 grams on it. Let me see how much grams this one comes in. So it's 100 grams, but when I weighted this, it was 103, and I used it this fourth for like 1.5 inches from my second sleeve rib. So anyway, so I have all this left, and then all this left, of course. This is how much money. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. Anyway, let's go back to the weekender. I didn't do any alterations or modifications to this pattern. The pattern is amazing. If you have not done this pattern, you should. It looks so beautiful and kind of like modern and classic at the same time, and I gave it this nice little punch with this fabric combination. So I think this is going to be on my wardrobe, and I'm going to be using it a lot. Okay, so I have not blocked this sweater up, because I don't know why. I just didn't feel like I wanted to block it. Whenever I block it, I need to really stretch it out, because there's some parts like this ones are really narrow, and they're really, this is supposed to be like a drop shoulder and kind of tight on your arms, and right now it's really, it's really tight. I made a size small. I decided that I was going to just do small. Sometimes the mediums were too big for me. So this is, again, not blocked, but so far looking so pretty. What else did I have to say about that? The only regret that I have about this sweater, and it's nothing to do with the design, is the yarn choice. So whenever you use mohair, I don't know if whenever you have noticed that when you use wool and mohair together, kind of the mohair, those little fibers kind of like grab, yeah, let's say grab, or kind of like attached to your merino. So it makes kind of like one thread. So whenever you are knitting it, it's really easy, and those 2 yarns are kind of like glued together, so you don't see a lot of separation. With this one, however, because it's a cotton, there's not that element of grasping or sticking to the merino. So I had a lot of issues with grabbing like 1 yarn instead of 2. It was not paying attention, so I had to really look at my what I was knitting instead of the TB. So this was not for me at TB knitting because of the yarn choice that I made. But however, it was, again, worth it. It looks so pretty. Anyway, so that's it for the weekender. So I finished this one on Sunday, and then I decided to go back to my poet on Monday, and I worked a lot on it on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And last time we talked, I was here. I was pretty much here, and this is all I did after 3 days of work. 2.5 inches. there's no progress. So but at least now you can start seeing the motifs of the kind of, it's like a leaf flower kind of motif. very pretty. It's kind of now, I'm into that phase that now I know what I'm doing. After I did like a little piece, I know what I need to do on the entire circumference of that row. However, it's a lot. So I show you the front. This is the back. The back, you can oh my god, you can definitely see the design. And I'm not kidding, this is seriously the most beautiful sweater I have ever seen. Put my eyes on it. Maybe I have not seen too many sweaters, but this one is beautiful. I'm gonna show you briefly, very far away, the shorts. They're huge. So it takes a lot of time and effort just to move that line up, and then it's taking me a lot of time. This is definitely a sweater that I will cherish forever, and it's a work of love. It's not a sweater for you to sit down and watch TV or sit down and talk to your relatives. This is a sweater for you to be completely and early on your knitting, putting your mind and your everything on it, because you have to be very present. If not, you mess it up. One thing that I noticed is that I was doing my slips knits wrong. And you will be like, Marilisa, that is seriously like the second thing you learn when you, well, not the second, but probably one of the first things that you learn. So I'm gonna show you my slip knits. You see that horrible whatever that is? So this is my knit two together, and then these are my slip knits. And I was like, this is not looking right. So of course, I went ahead and I decided to check a tutorial for the slips knit, and I will have to say I was doing that wrong. So now here is the new and improved Marilisa knits slip knit, and then this is knit two together. So now they're looking like they are less chaotic than whatever that was. Oh my god. And I contemplated if I wanted to rip it back and go back through it, and I'm like, fuck no. Seriously, who's gonna notice? Nobody's gonna notice. But now that I put seriously the sweater on this camera, I was gonna be like, look at this, like the slip knit of hers. They're horrible. Anyway, I am seriously, it's so amazing. That sweater at the same time is so frustrating because I want to be done with it, but I'm not kidding when I say I spent not days, but I spent 3 days working with it. I'm not kidding. I'm not done, not even 2 inches, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so I was watching Jeffree Star, and every time Mimi gets so scared. Maybe you need your new baby daddy to be Jeffree Star because you love him. Maybe she's so excited that Jeffree Star heard you, or you heard Jeffree Star, right? In alpaca. I have tried to record this part so many times. Maybe needed to go potty. Gringo was sipping. Anyway. Okay, so second whip that I have, or 2 whips that are one, is the Roebling hat by Jacqueline Selim. Jacqueline Selim is a designer and also a YouTuber here on this platform, and her podcast is called The Brooklyn Knit Folk, and I love her. I watch her since pretty much I have watched all her videos, and it was one of the first YouTubers that I really liked and enjoyed. So for me, when she came out with this hat that she launched on, I think it was end of January, for the BKL, or the Bow Knitting Live event that it was in New York City. She was featured, I think it was on the Primrose booth. Let me double check that, because I'm not very sure about that. But she came out with this beautiful hat, and I will insert a video, or sorry, yeah, January 26th. She came out with this pattern, and I will put a photo here. I sent her a message through Instagram, and she replied. I was just like, oh, I'm trying to know why is, or a description of your hat. And she did this hat inspired on the Brooklyn Bridge, and the name comes from the architect who made or designed the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. So it's a very pretty design with some cables that go up, and she showed it in very kind of like Merlot or very dark red, and no pom-pom. So I was really attracted to the fact that we didn't have any pom-pom on it. And because to be very honest, I'm kind of like phasing out of the pom-pom craze. I do really love pom-poms, but sometimes they get kind of a little too much, and they even take away sometimes from the design. So I think she was very smart to just show the construction, and even the crown is beautiful, and then leave it like that, very simple, very modern, very New York, very classic and modern at the same time. So I had some yarn that I had left from my xoxo, and this pattern asked for a DK weight yarn. So I had this yarn, which is 100% alpaca, and this is the label from it. For it is the Juniper Moon Harriet, and this is in the color Black River Stone. And it's a very, I would say, dark gray, kind of heathered, very squishy and airy, kind of like what alpaca yarn, you know, it's just very, it just has a different feel from it, very soft. I had all this left. I have quite some, so I decided to go ahead and cast this on, and I cast this on quite a long time ago, and I stopped because I was like, okay, I need to get another yarn for this hat. So I did the rib, and then I started with the cables. And if you see here, you cannot see the cables a lot. And I was a little kind of worried that I was gonna make all this design and you will not be able to see it. Although, when I finished my weekender, I had pretty much this entire thing left, because I use nothing. I even weighed this up, and it weighs 103 grams. So I decided to use this one to make the rolling hat. And I went ahead and I had a second pair of needles, and I went ahead and cast it on, and I am on the row, I believe is 10. So if you see here, there's not a lot of definition right up to you start to get here. So I'm gonna give this one another go and see if it will look you know, more defined, although I think whenever you wash and block, this one will kind of smooth itself out. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one and then keep on with the other one. So right now I have 2 whips, and it doesn't bother me at all. You know, this color will definitely go with my hair. However, I truly need a dark hat. I don't have any. I have very little. I have even to have to go back and make some hats again, because I have lost some and I bet somebody took them. I'm not naming names, but Stella, you know, they may be there. Anyway, so let's recap. I'm going to have my giveaway for this bag here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and then just give me some feedback or say something that you think I should improve or that you love, and then I'm going to put the what you need to do or what are the rules for the giveaway on Instagram for this one. Okay, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and I love you so much. Have a nice, wonderful week. Bye.